Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're continuing a very warm Friday. Storms will develop, though, late Saturday along a cool front, which is going to keep that shower potential around through the early part of Sunday as temperatures fall to below average levels, and then maybe a little patchy frost early next week. There is our severe threat Saturday afternoon and evening. Slight risk in yellow. That's a level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather scale. Damaging winds really the primary threat. So again, rest of our Friday, sunshine, a few clouds drifting in late and still very warm. Saturday remains pretty warm as well. Some spots approaching 90 degrees, and then late, here comes that front with those showers and thunderstorms moving on in. Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home, still very warm in the southeastern part of the nation. Temperatures into the 90s for Orlando and Tampa. Panhandle to panhandle forecast showing some pretty decent rains to the north with those isolated thunderstorms again rumbling in late Saturday into early Sunday. Again, now the first part of the day Saturday should be just fine and also quite mild. Not quite as much rain off to the east, maybe a quarter of an inch, perhaps up to a half an inch. Temperatures will be into the mid-50s in Petersburg, 54, and then topping out at 92 with those thunderstorms again developing late. As we head to the south and west, quarter to half inch amounts, isolated heavier tallies with any of these stronger thunderstorms, but it will be a quiet start. Harrisville at 61 degrees and Parkersburg at 85 for that afternoon high. As we head to the south, those precipitation values again approaching about a half an inch with temperatures topping out into the 80s. Charleston around 90 degrees. Then much cooler as we head into the weekend. Lingering showers Sunday, possibly Monday, and the sun does return Tuesday at 77, and then warming back up into the 80s late next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone.
For your entertainment.
You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
Oh, not a moment too soon. Hello, West Virginia. We're back for more in the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Friday, April 17th, 2026. Metro News Hotline. Metro News Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Coop, no Friday sound effects, no cowabunga, no.
I don't want it. Dominate.
Thank you. There you go.
I was just waiting for my moment.
That never gets old.
Yeah, you know,
that never gets old.
Moment.
How much does that guy get paid every time we play that?
I don't know.
I don't want it.
Just getting rich.
There you go. There you go. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're going to wear that out.
Well, that's the reason I haven't used it all week.
You haven't?
No, because we used it a lot last Friday.
That's right. We're just kind of punchy by the time we even brought it up, like 5:45 last Friday.
After like all of our listeners were giving us so much
That's right.
heck over it, getting tired of Liam and his dad.
That's right. Hey, by the way, out there, if why don't you send us some notes on the PSAs you really like and the ones you don't
or
like.
the ones you want to hear come back.
Come back.
Like if you want to hear the creepy guy get into the apartment again, I could probably find that somewhere.
He let himself in the door. Can you believe that?
But the other problem is, and not to get too far down this road, but quite frankly, a lot of the places that we had PSAs for no longer exist.
Oh, that's bad.
They got defunded. So
oh, that's not good. Yeah, I've said this to you. We didn't know what we had. I mean, literally for the first 5 years of the show, we had Singing Abe Lincoln.
I know.
I'm Abe Lincoln and I've been thinking I wish we could bring that one back.
I know. And then, that was probably.
But you know what? If we brought it back, you know what we would do?
Oh, we would just wear it out, right?
No.
I don't want it. Dominate.
There you go. We would dominate.
We would dominate.
We would dominate. It is, what's the temperature? 82 degrees.
Very
82 degrees. I was out in the backyard a little bit today, feeling pretty good.
I'm legitimately kind of sticky.
What do you got?
From
What's
sweat.
on your T-shirt? I didn't see you when you came in.
It's a Mothman T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Where'd you get that?
Oddly, it wasn't a local buy. Shame on me, but this was in my $6 T-shirt phase. So there's a website called $6 Shirts you can go to.
Yeah.
And they have all kinds of non-copyrighted things. People will just put it together, and they'll find ways to get around. Like they'll put something on there, like that's not copyrighted from like pop culture, and then put the collars and stuff. Anyway, it's a good place to go to get T-shirts. They're not great T-shirts or anything, but when you're buying in bulk and you want a bunch of them, you want graphic tees. That's where I went to get them.
Ryan,
and they have to buy Mothman. What's he doing over there?
Ryan, what are you doing over there?
What do you mean?
You're getting lower and lower over there. You know that's just going to make Stephanie mad when you do that.
It changes how the light bounces off your forehead.
The network's going to be the network guys are going to be mad. There you go. Now I can see you. My next thing was going to be what's your T-shirt say?
Oh, it's a Dave Matthews T-shirt.
Are you a big Dave Matthews fan? Are you?
Yeah, I like Dave Matthews.
Did you go to the day? Did you follow the band for a while? Yeah. Is that one of the T-shirts that your dad gave you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. I don't even know. Think about that. My dad. What kind of T-shirts would my dad have given me for bands he saw?
I don't know.
He might have given me like Merle Haggard or something.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah, he was a big Hag fan. As am I. We're going to talk a little bit about music today. In fact, Coop, did you see we're talking about Record Store Day here in about 20 minutes?
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to put my list together, trying to put my pennies together, maybe go out and buy something tomorrow at Record Store Day. Now
I saw it on the guest calendar, and I was appropriately prepared.
Yeah, yeah, blew the dust off the guest calendar today and actually got in there and mixed it up a little bit. You've only been warning me about that for like how many years?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. But I found it, and so we're going to get into that a little bit at 3:33 today. So, Record Store Day. Coop, do you have any vinyl? Yeah, you got any vinyl records?
I have a small collection of vinyl, mostly that I've been given over the years.
Yeah.
So, like when people present a gift to me that's something that's vinyl, and so actually I really care for this stuff a lot because it's stuff that's been given to me over the course of either in radio or I think I even have I have one vinyl left over. My wife and I went to go see a band in Columbus a few years before we had Essie. We went on this elaborate date out there, and it's a relatively small band. I mean, they had some hits and everything, but it was a relatively small show, and they ended up hanging out with us after the show and stuff like that. We bought some swag from them, and then they suddenly just gave us one of everything. It was really cool.
You remember when we had John Wesley Godden in here?
Oh, yeah,
Charles
man.
Wesley Godden.
Charles Wesley, yeah.
And he gave us vinyl.
He did, man. He brought it in.
He's the only musical guest who's ever been on our show that performed and gave us records.
Now, see, there's provenance for whatever happens to he's an upcoming artist, but there's provenance for that record. You can provide the audio to it. You have all the information for it. I mean, there's a lot of provenance around that.
So we'll be talking to Sam Lowe's coming on from Sullivan's.
That'll be fun.
I remember when Sullivan's used to be over on Washington Street in a very, very small location.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, but now he's over on Lee Street. He's got a really nice location.
I just passed it a little bit ago.
So when was the last time you stood in line for anything?
And you've asked me that before.
What do you think?
Well, let me just give you an idea. Like when I go for my walks, I usually like to stop and get some coffee or something along those lines, right? So I'll walk in through the doors and I'll go to where you get coffee. And if there is more than one person ahead of me, I just turn around and leave.
Okay. Okay.
I don't need it that much, and I'm not going to wait in the line. So to answer your question is, every opportunity I get to not wait in line, I will skip it.
What kind of vinyl does your dad have, Ryan? You got
I
any
don't know.
vinyl records?
He's got a few.
Has he got a record player?
Yes, but I don't know if it works.
You don't know if it works.
Yeah.
Well, that's, you know what? That's a
It's
fair...
on the third floor collecting dust.
Oh, well, all right. But
Yeah,
you think
see-
he's got some records.
See, the only reason that you're a little that feels shocking to you is because it was vinyl. If
I
somebody
know.
would ask somebody, "Hey, does your dad have a cassette player?" I don't know if it works. You'd be like, "Yeah, who would?"
Well, that's right. There are some people who have vinyl that don't have a record player, that they just collect the things.
Well, that would be me. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
collect it, but I do have quite a bit of vinyl that I've gathered over the years.
And occasionally I will give you a CD right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
But do you have a CD player?
Yeah, my car still has one.
Okay.
And yeah, in fact, the CD that's in my car now, whenever I'm not hooking into like my Bluetooth or whatever, and I turn on my CD player, it's one that you gave me.
When's the last time you stood in line for anything, Ryan?
Last week.
I was
at Walgreens and I was in a line for to get my prescription refill. And,
that is fair.
Yeah. And it was actually weird because they do like, you know how sometimes you get like those auto refills for prescriptions. Turns out like it wasn't just me, but a bunch of prescriptions got like auto refilled. And I was like, man, I got like 30 more doses of this pill. I don't need a refill right now, but I guess it's filled out anyway, so I might as well pick it up. But
That's a good answer.
The pharmacy would actually, if I would have thought about it, would probably have been my last, because I have to stop. Everybody has to stop the pharmacy at some point.
We got a lot of sports stuff happening. We got the WVU Spring Festival tomorrow. That'll be going on with the game and the concert, and then the baseball game, and gear sale tomorrow at 9:30. WVU's got baseball today. Tonight, early evening game. Herds on the road in Mobile. Man, you ever been to Mobile? Mobile is such a good town.
I have,
man.
yeah. I used to have some property in Gulf Shores, and I went over to Mobile for one weekend once.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. Mobile's a good town.
Yeah, it is.
So the Marshall's playing baseball there. The Reds are on the road. Man, it's been they're playing the Twins tonight.
Yeah.
Man, that's odd, right?
It just feels odd, yeah, right.
It feels really weird that you don't really think about those two teams together.
Yeah.
The Rays are in to play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. When I was spending most of the year in St. Pete, it was always a big deal when the Pirates would come into the Trop, because we'd see all the Yinzers would come in. We'd have like a moment.
Nice, yeah.
I mean, there would be people that I would know that were expats, Yinzer expats, and we'd go to games together and that kind of stuff.
Maybe like bratwurst everywhere.
And it's the Rays are kind of my adopted second team after being around them.
Yeah,
for
I've
so
noticed
long.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting situation. I was going back and forth on what I wanted to talk about for the question of the day, and we're going to roll it out here in a minute. But one of the things that I almost did was in relation to today is International Ford Mustang Day.
Oh,
International Ford Mustang Day.
Man, they'll make a day for everything.
That is true. But
hey, when's National Empanada Day?
Oh, well, that's a good question.
That's one of the first holidays we celebrated.
Yeah.
Have you ever owned a Ford coupe? You ever owned a Ford?
Yes, a couple of them.
You have?
Yeah.
My dad had a company car, Ford Taurus. We used to, and the Taurus is gone, right?
Yeah, but at one time it was like
it was the Ford car.
Yeah, I unfortunately bought a thing called a Tempo one time, and I bought it, and man, it was, and to all of our Ford dealers and stuff out there, I think you would admit that car was a mistake, because Ford has some fantastic cars out there now that there's no problem with. But back in the day, this was the 90s, I guess.
Right.
That car was not good.
Yeah.
But then later I had a Contour, which was a fine car, and then I had an Explorer up until I ran it until it stopped running, which was over 200,000 miles. So
you got a Lincoln, right? That's a Ford, right?
I have a Lincoln.
Don't you have I thought you had
Oh, wait, that's an Escape. But yeah, I drive one now. What the heck am I talking about? It's my wife's car. She drives it. I forgot about it. But yeah, my wife has a Ford. She drives an Escape.
By the way, all this negative stuff you said about Ford, make sure that doesn't get to the podcast. We love all our local Ford dealers.
My wife drives one, and I've owned 4 other ones, so I think that we're all right there.
There you go. What about you, Ryan? You ever had a Ford?
I've never had a Ford, but I did have a weird car interaction the other day. I was walking my dog, and I saw this old, beat-up piece of junk car on Virginia Street, and the logos on it said GMC Jimmy, but I was like, this looks more like a Yugo to me.
I don't know if it was a Yugo.
Yeah, it looked terrible. But
man, I don't think it was a Yugo.
I don't know. It looked really bad.
When's the last time anybody saw a Yugo on the road?
It looked really old, too. Like there was rust on the grill and everything. It was bad.
I had somebody in my family that had a Yugo.
Really?
To this day, the thing that I remember most about the Yugo was how giant the buttons were in the car. It was like a play school a toy. It was like to turn on the air conditioner was like a giant square in the middle of the dash that you like punched with your fist to turn it on or something.
Classic,
it was awesome.
Classic Eastern European megalomania.
One of my best friends in high school had a Pinto and survived.
Oh, nice.
And survived.
Oh, my first car.
Was a Pinto?
Oh,
and you survived to tell the tale.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on all your success
Absolutely.
with that.
1980 Pinto was the last year they were made. And so my father purchased one here in the Kanawha Valley, and then a couple years later, I got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's odd, and I
Drove it till it wouldn't drive anymore. I mean, it was a good little car.
There you go.
this is just a fact that I got from an auto trade, so it doesn't mean anything. But the Cybertruck, I think, has now surpassed the Pinto as the most flammable vehicle. It's just data.
Wow. Wow. That's quite the claim. I had a Mazda Navajo that was on a Ford chassis, and it turned my head around. I haven't had a non-SUV since. That was the first SUV I ever had, and I drove that thing till the wheels fell off. I think I put like maybe 180,000 miles on that. I love that Mazda Navajo. I drove it everywhere. But so today is National Ford Mustang Day.
Do you have a car that if you could have again that you would take it? Like assuming it was in like the best condition that it was in while you had it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the first car my dad ever bought me was a 74 Camaro.
Nice.
It was gold. Coop, I had a Camaro when I was in high school for a brief amount of time. I didn't know what I had.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't know what I had.
Yeah,
I didn't know what I had.
You didn't. You needed the long hair too, I think.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
I had a 74 Dodge Dart that was pretty nice. But I think the car that I would go back to, I had a Chevy S10 Custom Deluxe, which was a 1980 model short bed truck. It was a sport.
Nice.
It was in mint condition when I owned it in 1989 or something. It was amazing. That was a nice car.
That's what I like seeing out on the road. I love it when I see a small truck.
That one was
I just
attractive.
need a small truck. I don't need something that's a city block that only gets a couple of blocks to a gallon of gas.
My truck was just big enough for everybody to want to have me come help them move.
Exactly.
Just big enough for that.
Exactly. Oh, Jeff, you're in the news business. Did you see where Brian Williams is coming back to TV?
Oh, is he really?
He is?
Brian Williams is coming back to TV. He's going to do like a video podcast on Netflix.
This is the most excited I've been for news in a very long time. I grew up with Brian Williams. This is fantastic news.
Brian Williams hosted the NBC Nightly News until 2015. So he's been off the NBC Nightly News now for over a decade.
Didn't he get run out for something?
Yeah, he had some issues.
It was a falsification, right?
Yeah.
Some sort of
Well,
falsification.
that's okay. You go to a podcast.
Yeah, right. Who
You
cares
know,
about standards? and
stuff happens. It seems kind of quaint now, right, when you think about it.
Yeah, I think the story was that like he was in Iraq and he was like, "Oh, our helicopter got shot at."
That's right.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
right.
And he was at like a Mr. Donut or something.
But remember, Mr. Donut. So he had that show on MSNBC for a long time. That's been off the air for like 5 years. So, but he's coming back. He's got a show that's going to be on Netflix where he's going to interview people. And this is the thing. We like news guys when they give us the news, right? But sometimes when they don't give us the news and they do other stuff, we don't care.
Stay in your lane.
Pretty much stay in your lane. But anyway, so they're gonna. Remember, he tried to do like the. I think didn't they try to run him out there to do election results on Amazon in the last presidential election, and nobody watched it.
Oh.
Nobody watched it. But maybe they'll watch this. Who knows? Question of the day. Question of the day has to do with the fact, we like to keep it light on Monday, or on Friday. That's the day it is. So Coachella weekend number 2 is coming up this weekend. We're on the verge of a lot of music festivals because the weather is changing. So I thought this question of the day was kind of appropriate, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. If you organized your own personal dream music festival, and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? Okay? If you organized your own personal dream music festival and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who is on the bill? To respond, text those in, 304-TALK, 304-825-5304. Tweet me, I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. One thing about this, Coop, would you put somebody in your lineup that you've never seen before?
No.
Or would you put people in there that you have seen
You mean seen
before?
live?
Yeah.
Oh well, I haven't seen that many people live that would be on my bucket list. So yeah, I would have to tap into some. Like obviously, I would put like the Beatles or the Stones or somebody on there, right?
Okay.
I haven't seen the Stones and I've only seen McCartney, so I mean, yeah, I would have to go down that road. I would also do something kind of wild, like maybe Bach.
Oh, there you go.
There
you go.
Like maybe have Bach open for the Beatles.
Yeah.
Well, Bach, I mean, can you imagine when like a wall of sound for like some of those classical performances,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that might be.
But Dave Allen, I ran this by him, and he said, well, Dave, and we call everybody Dave on the network now. He says, Dave, you're probably going to put Bob Dylan on the list. And I said, not, I'm a huge fan, but I've seen Dylan multiple times. I don't think Bob Dylan would be in my super lineup.
Now I could see where you could go there too, because I do like as far as current performers, I'm a big fan of Jack White. I think he does a great job live.
Okay.
But I've seen him live a ton. I used to live near Detroit, and I went over there and saw him at the theater a bunch. So I mean, that wouldn't be on my bucket on my festival list.
So there you go. If you organized your own personal dream music festival and you could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on it? Send those in. By the way, we got so many great responses to our question of the day yesterday about Jerry West. We're going to get into that in the follow-up file. What are you laughing at?
Just Jerry West stories.
By the way, have you seen any of the doc yet,
Not
Jeff?
yet. Not yet.
Man, I finished it today.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
Okay.
What's up in the news? What's going on?
Okay, staying in my lane here, Dave. Exactly. Staying in my lane here. WVU's Board of Governors met today. They're going to do some projects, what's been called acute capital projects. So needs to be some work on campus on a number of projects. So they approved some bonds today to take to the bond market to be sold. And their financial rating's pretty good from the bond agencies. So we have that story. Also in the Greenbrier saga, the Greenbrier has hired this man. He's a Charleston native named Raj Cohen. He's a nationally known financial attorney, and he's going to work for the justices.
Lawyering up.
Yeah, lawyering up. That's right. And then in the thing that happened last evening, Dave, the officer-involved shooting just north of Charleston, they've identified the person who was shot and killed. That's our lead story at the website. And I also wanted you to know, Dave, that I cut my grass, finished it in the dark last night because I didn't want to come in here and Dave saying, you didn't cut it on Thursday? What's up? So finished it in the dark.
That's what I like.
Look at those expectations that you put on people.
Finishing in the dark.
Yeah.
I love it. Jeff, thank you.
See ya.
All right, we'll take a break. Back in a minute.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and
about
onions.
this. Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All right, we're up and running on a Friday edition of the show. We got some breaking news that will be coming up right after this local news update at the bottom of the hour for our affiliates. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're continuing a very warm Friday. Storms will develop, though, late Saturday along a cool front, which is going to keep that shower potential around through the early part of Sunday as temperatures fall to below average levels, and then maybe a little patchy frost early next week. There is our severe threat Saturday afternoon and evening. Slight risk in yellow. That's a level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather scale. Damaging winds really the primary threat. So again, rest of our Friday, sunshine, a few clouds drifting in late and still very warm. Saturday remains pretty warm as well. Some spots approaching 90 degrees, and then late, here comes that front with those showers and thunderstorms moving on in. Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home, still very warm in the southeastern part of the nation. Temperatures into the 90s for Orlando and Tampa. Panhandle to panhandle forecast showing some pretty decent rains to the north with those isolated thunderstorms again rumbling in late Saturday into early Sunday. Again, now the first part of the day Saturday should be just fine and also quite mild. Not quite as much rain off to the east, maybe a quarter of an inch, perhaps up to a half an inch. Temperatures will be into the mid-50s in Petersburg, 54, and then topping out at 92 with those thunderstorms again developing late. As we head to the south and west, quarter to half inch amounts, isolated heavier tallies with any of these stronger thunderstorms, but it will be a quiet start. Harrisville at 61 degrees and Parkersburg at 85 for that afternoon high. As we head to the south, those precipitation values again approaching about a half an inch with temperatures topping out into the 80s. Charleston around 90 degrees. Then much cooler as we head into the weekend. Lingering showers Sunday, possibly Monday, and the sun does return Tuesday at 77, and then warming back up into the 80s late next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour, and we're going to start this segment with a little breaking news. Jeff Jenkins, what's going on?
Yeah, David McKinley, a 12-year congressman from the state of West Virginia, has died. McKinley served from 2011 to 2023 in Congress from Wheeling, successful businessman, engineer, longtime business owner, engineering firm. And he served from 2011 to 2023. And then during the redistricting, his district got changed, and then he lost to Alex Mooney in the primary in the primary in that year. But we do have a couple of statements. Let me just read a little bit of a statement from Shelley Moore Capito, U.S. Senator. David McKinley was a fighter. Not only did David fight for his principles and the causes he believed in, but he also fought hardest for his cherished West Virginia. As a proud eighth-generation West Virginian, he espoused the values that are so embedded in our state. His dedication and commitment to our coal miners was second to none. And as the only licensed engineer in Congress during his time in the House of Representatives, he brought thorough analysis to the legislative process. He was also a dedicated WVU football fan, never missing a chance to cheer them on. My heart goes out to his devoted wife, Mary, and his family in sympathy for their loss and in gratitude for the decades of public service and friendship. Shelley Moore Capito, they're talking about David McKinley. And also, McKinley was one time the chairman of the state Republican Party, the West Virginia Republican Party. So the passing of Congressman David McKinley, just learning about that in the last few minutes, and we'll get a story posted at the website.
McKinley was in the House of Delegates for years and then was a congressman as well. So the passing just being announced within the last hour. Jeff, thank you.
Okay.
All right, we'll have more on that. That'll be at the website, wvmetronews.com. Tomorrow is Record Store Day, and here in Charleston, that means, well, Sam Lowe at Sullivan's Records over on Lee Street, they're going to be lining up around the block early at tomorrow morning, and Sam joins us now live. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. So when are you opening tomorrow? Do you have special hours for Record Store Day?
Yes, we definitely do. So they line up in the middle of the night, so we go ahead and open up the doors at 8 a.m.
So what do you think is what's on the mind of vinyl buyers tomorrow? What do you think is going to be the hottest records?
You know, it's interesting because each collector has their own things that they're interested in. So there's sometimes like little pockets of interest. For instance, you'll have the fans who are looking for Taylor Swift are really going to be rabid about that. But it may not mean they're going to necessarily care a whole lot about the release from Kiss. So the Kiss, Pink Floyd, John Prine, Sleep Token, these are all going to be big sellers tomorrow.
And let me ask you about the Pink Floyd. So you have copies of that?
Yeah, we got about a dozen of those.
Okay. Do you have the Springsteen live from Asbury Park? Do you have that?
Yep. Yeah, we sure do.
All right. So when's the first person going to get in line?
That's a great question. People always ask me that. So if you'd asked me yesterday, I would have said the person who was suggesting they're going to get here the earliest was saying 1 a.m., but I talked to someone a little while ago who said they're going to be here this evening at 8 p.m., so we'll see.
8 p.m.? Seriously?
Yeah, that's what they do. So the earliest I've ever seen personally was 6 p.m. Last year, as I was locking the door, the line started.
So, that's crazy to think about. So somebody who's going to come and get in line 12 hours before the store even opens obviously has a plan. There are special rules for Record Store Day, right? You can't buy more than one of each record?
That's right. Yeah, we sign a pledge with Record Store Day, and that this sort of tries to ensure that it stays first come, first serve. So you can buy as many titles as you want, but you can only get one of each title.
Gotcha. So tomorrow, Record Store Day, we're talking with Sam Lowe at Sullivan's Records here in Charleston over on Lee Street. Sam, I was talking to my producer, Coop, about when you moved from Washington Street over to Lee Street for a bigger location. I'm guessing your traffic over there on Lee Street is doing pretty well.
Oh yeah, no, the foot traffic down here is so much greater for this sort of store. So yeah, no, they really fill the place at this point.
I'll tell you what, Sam, I may be dropping by there tomorrow. How you doing with the jazz records? You got some jazz records too?
Sure, yeah. At this point, with a record store day, I pretty much order any jazz title that they're releasing. So we'll have Chet Baker, Miles Davis, Bill Evans, Joe Henderson. Just basically, if it's coming out, we got it.
Now that Miles Davis is a 10-inch, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So how? Do you ever are you ever curious about some of the records you get for Record Store Day and maybe just try to open one yourself?
I never even think about that, honestly, for me. Just getting it all in and organized and in the system and ready to go to bring out this evening before we go home, that's where I'm focused.
You know what? I know you're busy, so I'm only going to give you a couple more minutes, then you can get back to work. But how long does it take you to get set up for Record Store Day?
That's a good question. So this evening, it'll probably only take me about 2 hours to get everything out on the floor and organized for everybody. But I spend those couple of weeks ahead of that, every spare minute that I have in the back getting it ready.
Well, I tell you what, the weather's looking good for you tomorrow as well, right?
It is. I tell you what, it might be the best weather I've ever seen for a Record Store Day. For once, it actually might not be too bad of a night to be out all night.
All right, Sam, thanks for your time today. Best of luck tomorrow. That's Sam Lowe from Sullivan's Records on Lee Street. Tomorrow is Record Store Day. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Coop, you know what? Let me do a quick reset on our question of the day, and then we will jump into the sound of sports. So the outdoor concert season is about to heat up. In fact, the second weekend of Coachella out in California begins. Well, actually, it started already. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. If you organized your own personal dream music festival and could pick 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? Who's on the bill? You can text those in, 304-TALK, 304-8255-304. I'm on X2 at Weekly, WEEKLEY. By the way, in terms of the question of the day, we got the follow-up file coming up. That'll be in about a dozen minutes or so. But you know what? Let's jump into the sound of sports. Sound of sports, and we will start with college football. WVU spring drills end with the Gold Blue Festival tomorrow in Morgantown. Mountaineer coach Rich Rodriguez sounds like he's ready to tee it up right now.
Our constant, I think you have to live in a constant state of competition. That's where, I don't know if that's, I'm sure everybody tries to do that, but if a guy doesn't love to compete, I don't want him in the building. I don't want him cleaning our rooms. I don't want him cooking our food. I don't want him taping our ankles. I don't want him in the weight room. I don't want him anything. If you're not competing as hard as you can, you're not allowed in our building.
Coop, he doesn't want him
came down the mountain.
He doesn't want to have him cooking the food.
Yeah, don't want to do it. Don't mess with it.
Don't want to have him cooking the food. All right, kickoff for the spring game is set for high noon tomorrow. Major League Baseball, the Reds are in Minnesota for a weekend set with the Twins tonight. Reds fans still buzzing about the bad blood that was stirred from the Giants series that ended with San Francisco holding the Reds to a single hit in yesterday's 1-0 loss. When the Giants reliever Eric Miller struck out Sal Stewart to end Thursday's game, both benches continued barking, and it looked like another uprising was about to occur before cooler heads finally prevailed. After the game, here's Stewart's take on it.
What sparked the little get-together at the end?
I actually missed it because when he struck out, I usually put my head down and sulk back up to the tunnel, so I kind of was on the late show.
All right, so that was Terry Francona's reaction. He missed it. He missed the whole thing. But Sal Stewart was in the middle of it. Here's his reaction to it after the game.
Struck out and came down the mountain looking at me and pointing at me and just yelling. So tempers flared, things happened, and it's all good. I'm not going to make light into that. We won the series, and things happen, Tough game today, but we won the series, and we're going to go to Minnesota and play. So I'm not going to talk more about that. We leave things on the field, and whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. Lost in the drama yesterday was Reds rookie Chase Burns' performance. He allowed just 2 hits and a walk, but still faced the minimum through 6 scoreless innings over 87 pitches. Brandon Williamson starts tonight's series opener against the Twins. The Pirates' homestand continues tonight with the opener of a 3-game set with Tampa Bay. The Bucks dropped an 8-7, 10-inning decision to Washington on Thursday as the Pirates and the Nats split their 4-game set. It was an up-and-down day for prized rookie shortstop Connor Griffin. His throwing error allowed 3 early Nats runs to score, while at the plate he banged out a pair of hits. Here's Griffin on his progress.
Yeah. I mean, the results are going to come. I'm just trusting the process and just continuing to be the same guy.
What do you feel like you guys can take away from a game where, things didn't go your way, but you got a fresh series starting tomorrow?
Yeah, just come in here and try to win. That was a good team we were playing, but man, we had them. Pretty much every game we could have swept that series, and just got to continue to finish games and just continue to do our jobs.
Speaking of Bucks rookies, Bubba Chandler gets the ball tonight for the series opener against the Rays at PNC. And after mentioning rising stars like Connor Griffin and Sal Stewart in this update, we've got to talk about the Guardians' Parker Messick. Yesterday in Cleveland, in just his 11th career start, he carried a no-hitter into the 9th inning against the Orioles.
In this particular moment, Parker Messick has thrown 106 pitches. He had not thrown more than 98 in any big league start, so he's already in uncharted territory, but he's been free and easy. Ground ball, base hit.
Leody Taveras breaks up the no-hitter on the first pitch of the 9th inning, and a standing ovation from nearly 15,000 at the corner of Carnegie in Ontario.
There you go. So Messick faced just 1 hitter over the minimum through 8 before Taveras broke up the no-no. The Guardians went on for a 4-2 win over the O's. Here's Parker Messick of the Guardians on nearly getting that no-hitter against Baltimore yesterday.
Congratulations. Have you ever thrown a no-hitter before is what I got to ask first and foremost.
No, I have not.
Really?
No, never gotten one. That was the closest I've ever been.
Okay, so after 8 innings, what's going through your mind when you're sitting over here?
Same thing the whole game, just keep executing. I mean, it was a good game, and the one pitch, snuck it through the hole, so you can't do nothing about that. It's a good one.
All right, so the Orioles right-hander Chris Bassett will look to get back on track tonight. It's been a tough start for him against the Guardians, while Cleveland counters with Tanner Beebe. From hockey, the Penguins are finally back in the playoffs, and the Pens open the chase with a first-round series against the Flyers tomorrow night at home. Here's Sidney Crosby on the relief of getting back to the postseason.
Yeah, way better. This is what you play for, is the opportunity to compete for the Stanley Cup, and I think after some years not being able to do it, I think you appreciate it even more. And the regular season's done, so everyone starts fresh here now, and everybody's excited for the opportunity.
And Pens first-year coach Dan Muse has put the Pens back in the playoffs, and here's what he expects from Philadelphia in this series.
And obviously, they're playing really well. I think you go back throughout the course of the year, like they've got some very dangerous players. They've got, both up front and on the back end. So obviously there's a lot there, but I think they all year, they've been in the mix, and then they really made that push this back half of the year.
All right, obviously there's a lot of history between the Pens and the Flyers. They'll be meeting in the playoffs for the 4th time in the first round in the Crosby, Malkin, and Letang era. The Pens eliminated Philly in 2008 and 2009 en route to the Stanley Cup Finals, and again in 2018, while the Flyers eliminated the Penguins in 2012. Let's take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for the follow-up file. Stay tuned.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com to apply. That's WVMetroNews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Hi, I'm Grant Maltba, project manager with CEC. Ever dreamt of working hands-on with wildlife? As a bat biologist at CEC, I do just that. Every day is a new adventure, tackling unique challenges and helping clients meet their Endangered Species Act requirements. It's not just rewarding for me, but it boosts our local economy and aids bat conservation too. Want to make a difference in the field? Join us at CEC. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Metro News Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Vets today.
All right, welcome back to the show. And you know what? It's time for the follow-up file. When we started getting the question of the day segment rolling, we originally wanted to read all the responses, but we started getting too many to do that. Some would come in so late or even after the show was over. We couldn't find a way to get that stuff into the program until now with the follow-up file. Yesterday, we were talking about the new Jerry West, The Logo documentary that has dropped on Amazon Prime. So the question was, did you ever meet Jerry West? If so, what could you tell us about your interaction with him? And if the NBA decided to update the logo, would that upset you? 304-520. Dave, I had the luxury of sitting beside Jerry West on a flight to Lewisburg. He was always my hero growing up, and he did not disappoint. He was humble and gracious. We spent over an hour talking about hunting and fishing and had a great time. He told me numerous stories, like the time he went salmon fishing with Chuck Yeager in Alaska with many others. Our plane arrived in Lewisburg early, and he asked me if I could give him a ride to the Greenbrier to his home if his car had not been dropped off. I waited for him outside baggage claim, praying his car would not be there, but unfortunately it was. It was still a wonderful experience, and he always remembered me when I would run into him in Greenbrier County at Lowe's or Kroger's. What a great text. Thanks for sending that in. 304-539. Dave, I met Jerry West at the opening of Tex Williams Sports Museum in Artie. He was very nice, and he spoke with everyone who came up to him. Hope they keep him as the logo. 304-671. Dave, I met Jerry West in the Greenbrier Pro Shop in the early 80s. He was very gracious. Then we headed separately to the practice range where he proved that he was a much better golfer than me. Yeah, he was a member of Bel Air and was a very good golfer as well. All right, earlier this week, tax day, and so the question of the day was, you just got a surprise $1,000 refund, but there's a catch. You have to spend it on something completely useless. What are you buying? 304-573. Dave, I'm going to buy a round-trip ticket to New York City and come back right after the landing. It's useless. 304-943. Dave, my useless refund purchase. Easy. Reds World Series tickets. 304-517. Hey, Dave, I would buy fireworks. I didn't see that coming. Earlier this week, we had a question of the day about comics because Bert Kreischer is coming to Huntington on Sunday night. The question was, who's the GOAT of stand-up? Pryor, Carlin, Eddie Murphy, somebody else? And who's a comedian that everyone else seems to love, but you just don't get? We got a ton of response on this. 304-702. Dave, Mitch Hedberg was the GOAT of stand-up. 304-741. Dave, I never cared for Robin Williams, but I loved James Gregory. Man, he lost a ton of weight. 304-709. Dave, love Sam Kinison. I don't get George Carlin. 304-629. Hey, Dave, it's your old Babe Ruth coach here. My boy, Buddy Randolph. How you doing, buddy? He says, GOAT of comedians, Bob Hope and Red Skelton. Man, that's old school, son. 304-881. Dave, Dangerfield and George Carlin, the absolute best. Seinfeld, not so great for stand-up. Herman on X on this category. Hey, Dave, Rodney Dangerfield really got no respect, but if you saw him, you knew he was going to make you crack ribs from laughing so hard. And I don't get any of these new comedians because they're scared of offending people. Steve Thomas on X. Dave, George Carlin, I loved him. I don't get Will Ferrell. Jim Fink on X. Dave Chappelle's the greatest, but Bert Kreischer is talentless. Kip on X. Dave, I'd say it was a toss-up between George Carlin and Richard Pryor. Personally, Rodney Dangerfield and Don Rickles are at the top of my list. As far as never being a big fan, that would be Jeff Dunham. Never really got into the ventriloquist routine. Coop, I'm kind of with him on that. That's a pretty good response. WV Wings. Hey, Dave, Carrot Top is a polarizing comedian. I like him, but he's not the GOAT. But he's still funny. Do you think if a comedian has to use props, they're not as funny as a stand-up comedian? Hey, man, the questions of the day, that's my lane. But that is a very good question. I'm not a real big fan of prop comics, although I gotta say, when I was a kid, prop comics used to make me really laugh hard. Coop, you like prop comics?
I do not want to be hit with a watermelon, no.
There you go. Thanks to everybody who sent stuff in. We'll take a break back in a minute.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Foundation Fighting Blindness.
All right, a quick break. We're coming back with more in hour number 2. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're continuing a very warm Friday. Storms will develop, though, late Saturday along a cool front, which is going to keep that shower potential around through the early part of Sunday as temperatures fall to below average levels, and then maybe a little patchy frost early next week. There is our severe threat Saturday afternoon and evening. Slight risk in yellow. That's a level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather scale. Damaging winds really the primary threat. So again, rest of our Friday, sunshine, a few clouds drifting in late and still very warm. Saturday remains pretty warm as well. Some spots approaching 90 degrees, and then late, here comes that front with those showers and thunderstorms moving on in. Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home, still very warm in the southeastern part of the nation. Temperatures into the 90s for Orlando and Tampa. Panhandle to panhandle forecast showing some pretty decent rains to the north with those isolated thunderstorms again rumbling in late Saturday into early Sunday. Again, now the first part of the day Saturday should be just fine and also quite mild. Not quite as much rain off to the east, maybe a quarter of an inch, perhaps up to a half an inch. Temperatures will be into the mid-50s in Petersburg, 54, and then topping out at 92 with those thunderstorms again developing late. As we head to the south and west, quarter to half inch amounts, isolated heavier tallies with any of these stronger thunderstorms, but it will be a quiet start. Harrisville at 61 degrees and Parkersburg at 85 for that afternoon high. As we head to the south, those precipitation values again approaching about a half an inch with temperatures topping out into the 80s. Charleston around 90 degrees. Then much cooler as we head into the weekend. Lingering showers Sunday, possibly Monday, and the sun does return Tuesday at 77, and then warming back up into the 80s late next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine.
This
it's
is
your
Metro
time on
News
the water.
Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, how do you do? Metro News Hotline keeping you company here in West Virginia every weekday afternoon, starting at 3:06 and taking you right through till 6 o'clock. Wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state or beyond the borders, we hope you're having a good day. We're doing pretty well here in Charleston today. Beautiful day. Lots of blue skies, 82 degrees, hoping for a really great weekend, and we're glad you're tuned in. Hashtag 180 Club. They are with us, and I got your back as well. All right, we have a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. We will take a look at what happened in the financial markets, and with the Strait of Hormuz opening up, the markets love that news. So we'll give you the numbers. We'll take a look at a couple of West Virginia-related stocks, check the energy prices and the crypto, and then we'll reset our question of the day. And it is Friday at the top of the 4 o'clock hour, so that means it's time to play buy or sell. And it's a 3-man weave today. McIntyre Murphy has the day off, but that doesn't mean this segment's off the board. No, we're marching on. So
you know what that gives you the opportunity to do?
Stretch out a little bit.
I don't want it. Dominate.
That's right. That's right. Easy there, pseudo Liam. So we'll get into that in just.
I love the responses that we're.
I know. Now the shade's coming in for Liam too. You can't stop it. A little bit later on in the half hour, we've got the entertainment report. Oh, Pat Strader's by with BeerFriday, and man, we use it. We could use it now. So you got any questions about beer or the craft beer industry in our state? Pat will be here in a half an hour. Also, a little later on in the hour, we'll open up the On the State file. We'll have the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports. Oh, by the way, a little WVU baseball update. So WVU's got a baseball game tonight against Houston at 6:30, but tomorrow the game time has been moved. WVU within the last half hour announcing that the game with Houston tomorrow, instead of coming on after the spring football festival at the stadium tomorrow's baseball game between WVU and Houston will start at 11 a.m. That's kind of a big change, so be aware of that. The game tonight starts at 6:30, but the game time tomorrow has been changed. It will be at 11 a.m. instead. Speaking of WVU, Brad Howe from Sportsline will be here at 5 o'clock. We'll play in or out, 5:33. Aristotle Jones will be here, and then more of your responses to our question of the day. Speaking of which, here's well, you know what? Let me do the stock report first. We'll get to the question of the day here in a sec. The market today, the Dow was up 1.8%, gained 868 points. It was up over $1,000 or 1,000 points at one point today. Closed up 868, finishing at 49,447. S&P 500 up 1.2%, gaining almost 85 points, 71.26 at the close. NASDAQ was up 1.5% today, gained 365 points, 24,468. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is a dozen sessions in a row that NASDAQ has been positive. Among stocks related to West Virginia that were big percentage gainers or losers today, as you might imagine, there's a ton of green on this board, but there were some losers today among stocks that had been really gaining momentum during the conflict. For example, Dow. Dow was down 10.4% today, lost $4.16, 35.77 at the close today. Halliburton down 2.5%, lost 94 cents, 37.21. Lowe's, however, was up 4%, gained $9.69, 252.11 at the close. In the energy space today, oil down 10.7%, lost $10.13. WTI on the NYMEX closed at $84.56. So it's been a while since it's been south of $85. Nat gas up at the moment, up 1.3%, has tacked on 3 cents today in this session, $2.68 per unit. And in crypto was up 3% today, gained almost $2,300, a coin going for $77,533. Now let's get to the question of the day. Question of the day, the outdoor concert season is about to heat up. The second weekend of Coachella is underway in California. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. If you organized your own personal dream music festival and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? If you could organize your own personal dream music festival and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who would be on the bill? And we got a lot of response to this. You can jump in there too. The text line is 304-TALK, 304-825-5304. Also, I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Quickly, from the text line, 740-706. Dave, my dream concert, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, Terry Kath, and the original Chicago. That's a pretty good lineup. Let's see. 304-552. Hey, Dave, bring back the original Beer Friday song. You know the one everybody loves. Coop, our lawyers are working on it. Or we got a team of lawyers working on it, so maybe that'll happen. Before we go any farther, Ryan, what's your dream concert lineup? You have one.
Okay.
Okay.
Opening act, Grateful Dead.
Oh, great call.
Because Grateful Dead Fridays.
That's right.
They will play for 5 hours, 4 of which will be just instrumental solos.
Dark Star.
Second act, Limp Bizkit. They will play. They'll play Nookie and Break Stuff and nothing else.
Great.
Third and final act, Hatsune Miku.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. All right, guys, you ready for buy or sell? Let's do this thing. Buy or sell, we were thinking every Thursday when Amy Smith comes on the show to talk about buying and selling stocks in the market, why don't Coop and I do a segment where we use the same idea for sports, music, pop culture, and more? So that's what we're doing today. So let's get started with buy or sell on this 3-man weave. You know what? I think I'm going to start.
I think you should.
I'm going to start.
I think you should take the bull by the horns.
You know what? And it's not going to be sports.
Okay.
It's not going to be sports. It was something I was reading last night. Japan's weather agency has just adopted a phrase for days where the maximum temperature is over 104. All right? In Japan, that's going to be known as kokasobi. That is the phrase that they will be using for days in Japan where it is over 104 degrees. The name was chosen after almost 500,000 votes were cast, and it means severely hot day but has no official translation. The agency will use the term to effectively raise awareness and encourage caution amongst the public as countries prepare for a hotter future due to climate change. Last year, 8 of the top 20 hottest days in Japan were last summer. All right? So there's been a little bit of discussion about maybe we need to be thinking about something similar to that, coming up with names. And there's a movement amongst some meteorologists that they think that we should have specific names for heat events, just like we do for hurricanes and tropical storms. All right? So, buy or sell. There might be something to the idea of naming heat events, just like they do hurricanes and tropical storms. Buy or sell. Might be something to it. The idea of a very dangerous heat event getting a specific name, just like they do for hurricanes and tropical storms. Coop, buy or sell?
I'm going to have to admit this hat kind of splits me a little bit. I'm not completely sure how I feel about it, because in the past I've been a little bit I don't know, like, do we really have to name everything? But at the same time, as far as documenting something goes, it is a lot easier to refer to something by, instead of being May 4th, was that the 87 one? Or you know, when you have a name to reference something by, it makes it a lot easier to reference it. And frankly, in the media, it gets the head. I mean, that's not always what you want, but maybe when it comes to something that's dangerous, that is what you want, you know, and people can start doing their play on words and their cutesy stuff and things like that when it comes to the name of an event or a storm. Man, I'm surprised by this, because when you started, I was like, I hate this stuff. But as I started thinking about it, as you were talking about it, I kind of talked myself into being, it doesn't affect me any. What do I care, right? I don't need to be a conundrum about it. And I can't really think of an actual negative other than me just wanting to be like, oh, we don't have to name everything. Right. Everything else that I can think of is an actual benefit, you know? So, I got to buy it, I think.
It can be a little problematic, because if you decide that you want to give specific heat events names, what about specific cold events? You know, you're kind of in that box as well.
I think the difference there is that, well, I don't know. No, there's not. You probably have to like go at like negative something and start coming up with some kind of or zero maybe. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah, where you want to set the level. The other thing is, you can already see that climate deniers would have a big pushback against this, right?
The first thing I talked about is that it's not our show. So
yeah, right. All right. What do you think about this, Ryan? There might be something to the idea of naming heat events, just like they do hurricanes and tropical storms.
Just for clarification, this is just like terminology. We aren't going to say like heat event Tyler or something. You know, it's not that, right?
Yeah, that's what we are talking about.
We are giving them like actual personable names.
Yeah, so for example, if the heat in
Ryan
in Reno was like over 115 degrees, it would be like heat event Ryan.
Okay, the lead up implied that like it was a terminology thing.
Well, that's what they're doing in Japan.
Yeah.
But there are some meteorologists here in the United States that are thinking, well, maybe we need to give a specific name to a heat event, just like we do a hurricane or a tropical storm.
Okay.
So what do you think?
I don't know. I think like, I don't know. It's when maybe this is just a me problem, but when like a hurricane or an event is like given a name, I think it's like it makes it cute and sort of downplays it. Like, haha, Hurricane Irene. Oh, it's so cute. It's got a name and everything. Right. And then it like devastates the East Coast. So I don't really like the practice of naming weather events in general. But if it was like an intimidating name, like the Tree Destroyer or the Flesh Terror, then maybe I'd take it a bit more seriously. But I'll sell for now.
You're gonna sell. Sell for now. All right, what do you got, Ryan? What's your topic?
All right, so you guys know about Ring cameras, right?
I heard about them. Yeah.
Well, there was this one guy who got caught on a Ring camera. He wasn't having a very good day. People on the video of him got published online. He was fooled into believing that like a girl was in trouble at this house, and so he goes to the house. And he goes on the Ring camera and he's like, let me in, or I'll destroy you. And he's wearing like a a black trench coat and like an anime t-shirt, and he's got like the thickest eyebrows you've ever seen, and people are like, oh, it's a Reddit moderator, it's a Discord moderator, and it's this guy like is having like sort of a mental break, and it quickly, like in the course of 24 hours, it quickly became a meme, and people were like joking about this guy, like, he's so funny, he's yelling, and he's so foolish. And it just got me thinking, like, man, how easy is it for someone who like is having a bad day or is just like caught up in an awkward scenario, how easy it is for them to become a meme. So buy or sell, you got to watch what you do on those Ring cameras, or any camera for that matter.
Well, no doubt.
Yeah.
You got to watch what you do on the Ring camera. I'm going to absolutely buy that.
Yeah.
I'm going to absolutely.
There's no doubt about that.
I'm going to absolutely buy that. Coop, what do you think?
Yeah, there's no question about that. And it's interesting, in your setup to the video, you mentioned that he was tricked into going to the house?
Yes.
Is that what they do? Because I've actually seen the video, and when you look at the video without that context, you have no idea what's going on. The guy's just banging on the door being like, let me see your daughter. Show me your daughter.
Yeah.
Is your daughter in there? And it's like, dude, what in the world?
He was under the impression that like a father was abusing his daughter, and I don't know if the guy actually, the house owner, if he actually had a daughter or what. I knew he had a wife, and the wife was in the house hiding from this trench coat guy who identified himself as Harry Dresden, which is actually like a fictional wizard detective.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got that right away because that was super popular back when I had the bookstore. I was like, Dresden Files. Yeah, what are you talking about?
So it's a messy situation, and I feel bad for the guy, but also he was acting very crazy.
All right, Coop, what do you got? What's your buy or sell?
All right, so buy or sell today for me. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. The Milky Way has up to 400 billion stars and not one confirmed sign of intelligent life beyond our own. That's the Fermi paradox. Physicist Enrico Fermi asked it best over lunch in 1950, where is everyone? Frank Drake tried to do the math. His famous Drake equation weighed star formation, habitable planets, and lifespan, communicating civilizations. Optimists landed on thousands of potential contacts. Updated research now puts that number close to 0. Earth's specific recipe of plate tectonics oceans continued to be simply extraordinarily when it comes to evaluating for life. Hollywood says, what would happen if we discovered non-hostile aliens that are intelligent in our universe? Hollywood says chaos. Every time from War of the Worlds to Independence Day and Arrival, we panic, we fragment, we fight each other, and that's as fast as we can find the visitors. So the proposition today for my buy or sell is, if confirmed intelligent alien life was found, humanity would actually set aside its differences and come together and act as a unified species.
Oh, man, I'm going to sell that. I'm going to absolutely sell that. You know, look at what's going on right now. Are you trying to throw, like, aliens into the mix?
Hey, I'm just, yes, actually. I mean, it's not like I think this is about to happen, but wouldn't it figure?
Yeah. Here's the other question. I mean, would you, the way things are right now, would you be absolutely surprised if suddenly we had a copy of the front page of the Times tomorrow that basically said we found aliens or aliens exist?
Well, yeah, and the problem
would that be that wild?
The problem we have today is we have so many people that I mean, this is a huge topic, but there's so many people that's been pushing the same narratives forever that get floated back up there every once in a while to get into the headlines, and then you have people that use it just purely to distract, and then they'll flood information and different things like that. And for people that's either been skeptics or in the community, you usually find when this information comes out, people that are on either end of it are like, yeah, we've seen this before. Yeah. So it's usually pretty interesting, but I would also sell this premise. What about you, Ryan? Do you think there's any chance at all that humanity would come together if a intelligent life was discovered, non-hostile?
So here's going to be an interesting take. Humans, at their very core, are a tribal species, and I don't just mean like in cultural terms. I mean in like biological terms. We evolved as sort of not necessarily pack animals, but close, tight-knit family units. And remnants of that are seen in every part of our culture. People form units within like sports teams, political parties, nationalist identity, but a new one would form if we ever met non-human life, and it would be like a connection as like common earthlings. And I think that is something that, while unproven, could play into it. So I think I will cautiously buy.
Gonna buy.
The plausibility I see is coming together to hate the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the religious aspect alone would just turn the world upside down, right? All right, there you go. That's buy or sell for this week. Thanks, guys. We'll take a quick break, and the entertainment report is next.
Don't forget about our podcast.
Check out your favorite podcast provider
Or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law.
On Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All right, welcome back to the show. Almost halfway home in this Friday edition of Metro News Hotline. Don't forget, Beer Friday with Pat Strader's coming up in about 5 minutes. You got a question about beer or the craft beer industry, send us a text on that, 304-TALK, 304-304-8255, Now it's time for Talkin' TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines today from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
Nearly 40 years
ago. At long last, the sequel to Mel Brooks' 1987 sci-fi parody Spaceballs is ready. But unlike the prediction Brooks made in the first film, it won't be called The Search for More Money. The official title is Spaceballs, the new one, and it'll hit theaters April 23rd, 2027. With Brooks, Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, Josh Gad, Keke Palmer, and more. Get ready to return to the Wonkaverse, a new animated film called Charlie vs. the Chocolate Factory, a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, is coming to Netflix in 2027. In the movie, Wonka faces off against a teenage Charlie when he returns to his factory after years in jail. Yet another movie classic is returning to the big screen. Rocky 50, a remastered version of Sylvester Stallone's Oscar-winning 1976 film, hits theaters November 7th with a bonus, a sneak peek of I Play Rocky, a documentary about the making of the movie that opens November 20th. And actor Sean Bean is 67 today. Andrea Dresdale, ABC News.
All right, we'll take a break here at the bottom of the hour for local news and come back with Pat Strader. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're continuing a very warm Friday. Storms will develop, though, late Saturday along a cool front, which is going to keep that shower potential around through the early part of Sunday as temperatures fall to below average levels, and then maybe a little patchy frost early next week. There is our severe threat Saturday afternoon and evening. Slight risk in yellow. That's a level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather scale. Damaging winds really the primary threat. So again, rest of our Friday, sunshine, a few clouds drifting in late and still very warm. Saturday remains pretty warm as well. Some spots approaching 90 degrees, and then late, here comes that front with those showers and thunderstorms moving on in. Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home, still very warm in the southeastern part of the nation. Temperatures into the 90s for Orlando and Tampa. Panhandle to panhandle forecast showing some pretty decent rains to the north with those isolated thunderstorms again rumbling in late Saturday into early Sunday. Again, now the first part of the day Saturday should be just fine and also quite mild. Not quite as much rain off to the east, maybe a quarter of an inch, perhaps up to a half an inch. Temperatures will be into the mid-50s in Petersburg, 54, and then topping out at 92 with those thunderstorms again developing late. As we head to the south and west, quarter to half inch amounts, isolated heavier tallies with any of these stronger thunderstorms, but it will be a quiet start. Harrisville at 61 degrees and Parkersburg at 85 for that afternoon high. As we head to the south, those precipitation values again approaching about a half an inch with temperatures topping out into the 80s. Charleston around 90 degrees. Then much cooler as we head into the weekend. Lingering showers Sunday, possibly Monday, and the sun does return Tuesday at 77, and then warming back up into the 80s late next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
Beer o'clock.
I just can't wait. Beer o'clock, I don't want to be late.
Beer o'clock.
You know I worked all day for.
Beer o'clock.
You know, quitting time round here is beer o'clock.
All right, here we go. 26 minutes till the hour. Let's bring Pat Strader to the stage for another edition of Beer Friday, where we take your comments and questions about beer in general and the craft beer industry here in the old WV. How you doing today, Pat?
I'm doing great, Dave. Happy Beer Friday.
Man, I'm so anxious to talk to you first about beer, but I got to ask you, you're my go-to guy when it comes to the Grateful Dead. So what's your take on this Play Dead branded app that launched yesterday? Are you hearing about this thing?
You know what? Are you referring to the streaming stuff that they're going to be doing?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
It's like $100 a month, $100 a year, $10 a month. It's got access to 422 full shows, streaming in high resolution at better than CD quality. For the Grateful Dead fan on my Christmas list, this might be an unbelievably cool gift.
Yeah, but you know what, Dave? I mean, you can stream stuff, on like DeadNet and things like that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in. You're right. I mean, there's just so much music, right? But a lot of these shows, they talk about 422 shows. How many of these shows have we heard? Dubs of tapes, and these are the original tapes. And apparently this is like the biggest tape transfer in the history of ever to get this thing together. So that's out there. It's called Play Dead. So I just wanted to run that by you before we got into the beer stuff. On to the business of beer. Here we go. What about this first IPA from one of the breweries we've been talking about recently? Tell me a little bit about Chef's Kiss.
Chef's Kiss is the first IPA that Ursus Brew Works has released. So really exciting. Obviously that is a great sign that they've got their systems up, running and dialed in. So they describe this IPA as a nice citrus notes and full-bodied and an easy drinking IPA. And again, the name of this one is called Chef's Kiss. So if you happen to be around Charleston, stop down there on Hale Street and give that beer a try.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you're not familiar with this location, it's relatively new. And, you are talking about the first IPA. It's right there at 207 Hale Street. So, Charleston continues to kind of lead the way here in West Virginia when it comes to these types of places. Pickle Fest. Pickle Fest. Okay, let's do a reminder on that. And what's the beer connection?
Yeah, well, so we went into a lot of details on this, and I just wanted to give everybody a friendly reminder that Greenbrier Valley Brewing Company's Pickle Fest is this weekend. It actually starts this evening at the brewery, and then it's grown so big, Dave, that it is at the state fairgrounds Saturday and Sunday. So if you just look up Greenbrier Valley Brewing Company on Facebook, you'll find a link. You can. There are pre-sale tickets that are still available. Looks like it's going to be a really awesome event.
Hey, I want to ask you, earlier this week in the In or Out segment at 525, we talked about there is a mashup of Pabst Blue Ribbon and Grillo's Pickles that is coming out, and it's going to be available at Walmart in just a few days. What's your initial reaction to that? Would you drink that?
I think I'm out, Dave. Yeah, no, I mean, I like pickles, and you know what? I'm not opposed to Pabst either, but I think I'll keep this thing separate.
Fair enough. All right, Corber's got a new IPA. What are the details on
Yeah.
that?
Corber Brewing Company, they have a new beer alert, and this is a really kind of a unique story, but they call this smells like Reuben. And so, Dave, 420 is coming up.
Yes, it is.
For those that, if you know, that kind of thing. But it says in the description of this beer, it says, if you know our buddy Reuben, you know exactly where this is going. And they describe this IPA as being dank, just in time for 420. And it says, your eyes won't be bloodshot, but you may suddenly find the urge to play a few rounds of disc golf. So, Corber Beer's leaning into it there, Dave, and they got a new beer out. So take that for what you will.
Yeah, man, more power to them. But you know what? When you talked about the Reuben, my first initial thought was, oh, this is going to smell like a Reuben sandwich, which I'm in on that.
Oh, Dave, you just created a whole new beer there, buddy.
I think I did. Let's go to Free Folk. What's going on with Appalachian Light?
Free Folk Appalachian Light. I'm really excited to see this because, Dave, over the years, we've had lots of people ask us about, some ways to kind of slowly ease themselves into the craft beer world. Because, if you just hand somebody that, has just drank, like traditional American light lagers and you hand them one of these big IPAs, I mean, it's just like getting your face ripped off. Right. And it's just not a good way to introduce people to this. So I really hat tip to Free Folk because they describe this think of it as your favorite domestic, but with that local small batch touch. So keep an eye out for this. It is in cans. Free Folk Appalachian Light.
You know what? You're exactly right with all that stuff. This is a part of the consumer base that really needs to be served. You know what? It's been a while. Coop, remember when we started this segment? Literally every week we would get questions about alcohol-free craft beer.
Yeah,
we have
still do occasionally.
We have not had one of those, Pat, in what, months?
Yeah, It's been a while, but not like years. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. But I think it just shows kind of the sophistication of the people who listen to the segment. They know where it's coming from. Oh, one quick thing about Free Folk. They're in Heiko on Midland Trail. They've got live music there tomorrow night. And McConnell and Ken Kruger, they'll be playing acoustically tomorrow night. That'll be at 6:00. All right, we got a couple other things to hit on. Oh, what's the latest on Amani? What's going on with that?
Man, well, first of all, we talk about can art a lot, and this is a really cool looking can. I love the simplicity of it. But Amani has a new New England IPA that they have put in cans, and Dave, I believe that I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it's called Latibule. And they describe this a soft escape in a glass. How about that, man?
Nice,
Sounds fancy. Yeah, with Galaxy, Citra, and Azaka hops. So bright tropical kind of notes are going to come with this beer. It looks really fantastic, and it is in cans as well. So for those of you that may be over there in the Eastern Panhandle, stop in there and grab a 4-pack of that and take it home with you.
Yeah, that's a really nice can. Rop Drive, that's over in Martinsburg at Amani, so go check them out. Got to tell you, Pat, was it last week I was bugging you about when you mowed your yard, or was that 2 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it was last week. It needed it again, but I actually ended up. I've been out of town, so I paid somebody to do it for me, Dave.
That's fair. That's fair. Listen, but you should have been here in the 3:00 hour. Jeff Jenkins was in here talking about mowing after dark last night.
Oh man, that's the one where the neighbors are always just like, "What is that sound?"
I know what's going on. This can't be. This can't be good. But I trust Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff was the first guy that came up with the idea that you should mow your lawn Thursday night for the weekend. Mind blown. He's exactly right about that. All right.
I like that.
Hey, so Pat, what's in your hand or what will be there soon?
Well, I don't have anything at the moment, but I was just recently up in the D.C. area, and I just wanted to point this out because I know that there's probably lots of people listening that do the whole 64, 81, 66 boogie. And I tell you what, there is a gas station in Lexington, Virginia, right there before you get on 81, that has one of the best beer selections that I've ever seen. And so I picked up a couple of varieties of beers that they can't get here, and I'm getting ready to go play Virginia Craft Beer Cooler Roulette. Dave.
Okay. Tell me about this. I know where you are on 81. Is this when you're getting off Lexington to head up to D.C. or when you're coming back?
Yes. Well, I mean, you can get off either way you want, but if you're heading right before you get on 81, coming off of 64, if you take that exit in Lexington, take a right. And it's just the gas station right there on the corner. And, man, I'm telling you what, they have a really incredible selection. So.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I've been there many times. I'm going to have to remember that. All right, well, that's good. Hey, how's your dad doing? Everything cool with him?
Yep, he's doing good. I'm sure he's listening right now.
All right, that's good to know. Pat, great stuff as always, man. Thanks for coming on the show. And, hey, are you getting any Grateful Dead at the record store day tomorrow? You thinking about doing that?
You know what? I'm not sure if I am or not, but, I'm looking forward to next Wednesday and a little Billy Strings in Charleston, I can tell you that.
Oh, man, that is completely sold out. That's going to be one heck of a show, and our boy John Ingram is going to do an after-show thing after that concert as well at the Convention Center in Coliseum. Thanks, Pat. Good to talk to you.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Dave, and happy Beer Friday.
Happy Beer Friday to you as well. Good stuff from Pat. All right, I got a couple of seconds here. Let me do a quick reset on our question of the day. So the outdoor concert season is about to heat up. The second weekend of Coachella is going on right now in California. So the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. If you organize your own personal Dream Music Festival and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? If you could organize your own personal Dream Music Festival and you could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? Text those in, 304-TALK, 304-304-8255, 304. I'm on X2 at Weekly, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y, one word, 3 E's, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y. Just a couple of quick ones here. Here's John in Martinsburg. How you doing, John? He's got Buddy Holly, John Lennon, and Queen. How about that, Coop? Not the Beatles, solo Lennon. All right?
That's interesting.
That's pretty interesting, right? Okay, John, I hear you. I see you working there.
We have so little body of Lennon's live solo work.
How about this?
A couple famous concerts, but not a ton.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 681-981. Dave, no longer in the 240. How about this triple bill? Olivia Newton-John, Linda Ronstadt, Pat Benatar.
Wait a minute. Can I get Steve Bishop's number?
Yeah, he'd love that, right?
Yeah, I mean, Olivia Newton-John, I think, is his favorite artist of all time.
Oh, man. Let's see here. 304-561. Grateful Dead, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Fleetwood Mac. That's a pretty good threesome, right?
Not bad.
That's a pretty good threesome. We got a ton of response to this. Let me get one more. Let's see. 304-517. Hey, Dave, my music festival might be a little loud. My ideal headliners would be Kiss, Judas Priest, and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. How random is that? How random. Well, you know, probably at some point, Priest and Kiss probably toured together.
Yeah,
but I can guarantee you they didn't tour with Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I think I came up with my third, maybe.
Did you?
I don't know. I have to think about it a little more.
Yeah.
I think I want Bach to open up for rooftop-era Beatles.
Okay.
And then maybe maybe Tool, to be honest with you. I mean, I love Tool. They're a great live band. It's an experience to go. I've never seen them live. My wife has always wanted to see them live too. That might be something to be. And they're a big festival hit too. Usually,
we got a lot of responses to this question of the day. We'll get to more of those in a bit. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and open up the On the State file.
Hi, I'm Eli Henthorne, project surveyor at CEC. Starting my career at CEC was the best decision I ever made. I wanted to explore new areas in land surveying, and CEC offered just that. I've grown so much serving diverse markets and rapidly advancing my career, and it's more than just work. CEC is like family, supporting me every step of the way. CEC is where your career takes flight. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
All right, welcome back to the show. Time to crack open the On This Day file. Let's open with the birthdays, and let's start with the sports birthdays, as we always do. Boomer Esiason, 65 years old today. Bruce McNall, owned the LA Kings for a while, owned the Toronto Argonauts for a while. He's 75. Marquise Grissom, man, good player, 59 years old today. Tony Boselli, he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Great player, great offensive lineman, 54 years old today. Celebrities, Posh Spice, Victoria Beckham, 52. Jennifer Garner, happy birthday, Jennifer Garner, 54 years old today. Let's see. Rooney Mara's 41. On this date at the Academy Awards, 1961, The Apartment with Jack Lemmon wins the Oscar for the Best Picture.
Did you hear what I said, Miss Kublik? I absolutely adore you.
Shut up and deal.
Ingredient number 2, a brilliant cast. Jack Lemmon in a delightful role which gives full rein to Jack's amazing versatility. Shirley MacLaine, whose glowing warmth lights up the screen like a Christmas tree. Fred McMurray. This is a Fred McMurray you've never seen before.
You know, you see a girl a couple of times a week just for laughs, and right away they think you're going to divorce your wife. I ask you, is that fair?
No, sir, it's very unfair, especially to your wife.
Yeah.
There you go. The Apartment wins the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1961. This is crazy. It was 15 years ago today, 2011, that Game of Thrones premiered on HBO.
The same thing is coming for all of us.
The enemy is real. It's always been real.
Dead men, dragons, and dragon queens. Whatever stands in our way, we will defeat it.
There you go. Game of Thrones premieres on this date on HBO in 2011. From baseball, 1964, first ever game at Shea Stadium in New York. Mets lose to the Pirates 4-3. The first ever run at Shea Stadium, solo home run by Willie Stargell in the second inning.
Danny Murtaugh is looking for great improvement in the Pirates club this year, mainly on the improved hitting of Willie Stargell and Bob Bailey. Now Fisher out of his wind at the pitch. Long drive hit deep to right field. It might go. It's going, gone. A home run. Willie Stargell with a line drive home run. It just cleared the brick wall near the foul pole at the 341-foot mark. That was a perfect stroke for this ballpark.
There you go. First run ever at Shea Stadium. Home run by Willie Stargell in the first game at Shea on this date, 1964. Our musical birthday to the break, Jan Hammer, 78 years old today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are coming up next.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti-everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Org.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock. Major League Baseball. The Pirates are going to host the Rays tonight. The Reds on the road in Minnesota to take on the Twins. College baseball. West Virginia will host Houston. That'll be a first pitch 6:30 tonight. Marshall's on the road at South Alabama tonight. And, oh, by the way, WVU baseball, tomorrow game time has been changed. It's now at 11 a.m., not change time tonight's game, but tomorrow's game is now at 11 a.m. And at Wrigley today, the Cubs put it on the Mets. Mets lose again, 12-4. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're continuing a very warm Friday. Storms will develop, though, late Saturday along a cool front, which is going to keep that shower potential around through the early part of Sunday as temperatures fall to below average levels, and then maybe a little patchy frost early next week. There is our severe threat Saturday afternoon and evening. Slight risk in yellow. That's a level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather scale. Damaging winds really the primary threat. So again, rest of our Friday, sunshine, a few clouds drifting in late and still very warm. Saturday remains pretty warm as well. Some spots approaching 90 degrees, and then late, here comes that front with those showers and thunderstorms moving on in. Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home, still very warm in the southeastern part of the nation. Temperatures into the 90s for Orlando and Tampa. Panhandle to panhandle forecast showing some pretty decent rains to the north with those isolated thunderstorms again rumbling in late Saturday into early Sunday. Again, now the first part of the day Saturday should be just fine and also quite mild. Not quite as much rain off to the east, maybe a quarter of an inch, perhaps up to a half an inch. Temperatures will be into the mid-50s in Petersburg, 54, and then topping out at 92 with those thunderstorms again developing late. As we head to the south and west, quarter to half inch amounts, isolated heavier tallies with any of these stronger thunderstorms, but it will be a quiet start. Harrisville at 61 degrees and Parkersburg at 85 for that afternoon high. As we head to the south, those precipitation values again approaching about a half an inch with temperatures topping out into the 80s. Charleston around 90 degrees. Then much cooler as we head into the weekend. Lingering showers Sunday, possibly Monday, and the sun does return Tuesday at 77, and then warming back up into the 80s late next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks for tuning in. Friday at 5 o'clock. Well, let's get it all started right off the top with the weekend fanfare.
Fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, Red Soul. Everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody wants a new romance. It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Enough is enough. I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
All right, there we go. Check that box. It is now officially the weekend here in West Virginia, and not a moment too soon, frankly. Not a moment too soon. We got a lot of stuff to get into before we get out of here. At 6 o'clock, we're going to reset our question of the day. Oh, it's Friday at 5 o'clock, so that means Brad Howe's going to drop by. Man, I got a lot of stuff to get into with Brad that's old gold and blue related on the eve of the spring festival tomorrow, a little Mountaineer baseball, a little spring football. So we'll touch some of those bases as I mix my metaphors. We will also play in or out. That'll be at 5:25. Aristotle Jones, Sounds Good West Virginia at 5:33 today, where we put the focus on musical talent here in West Virginia that needs more attention. And maybe just as importantly, we take a look at places where you can go in our state to hear live music. And the question of the day today is about live music. Also, we'll roll that out here in just a matter of seconds. And then in the second half hour, we'll do a bit of a deeper dive into some of your responses. All right, so question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. We love those guys. Question of the day, the Coachella second weekend in California going on right now. You've got the concert season is underway. It's underway with the change in the weather. Question of the day, if you organized your own personal dream music festival and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? All right? If you could organize your own personal dream music festival and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? To respond, text those in, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. You can tweet me. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. And we got a ton of response to this. All right, let's get Brad Howe from Sportsline on the show to talk about West Virginia University sports. How you doing today, Brad? Was he on the phone, Coop? Yes. All right, we'll work on that. Okay, let me while we get the bat signal up for Brad, let me get into some of our responses to our question of the day, and we do have a bunch. So the question of the day, once again, if you organize your own personal dream music festival and could pick any 3 headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? The text line here, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. You can reach me on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, let's see. Let me get a couple more of these responses. This is such a good question. Let's see. Let's see. Coop, I see this question that this one listener from Hedgesville wants to know for the optimum temperature for a baked potato. Nice. That's like birds migrating. I mean, you get that same question from that guy every single year. Todd in Hedgesville wants to know, Coop, what's the optimum temperature for a baked spud? I know you've said this before, but I forgot to write it down. Was it 217? And I said it was 212. It's not 212. It's what?
No, you said 220. It is 212.
Oh, it's 212. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. There you go. This all stems from one time when you were gone and I had Chef Paul on, and I had just discovered that past week. This was a couple years ago. And I had just discovered that past weekend that my meat thermometer could be used for potatoes. And I was like, oh, really? And then I read this article from it was one of the – I don't know if it was the test kitchen, but it was a test kitchen of some kind. It was like, hey, man, if you have trouble with your potatoes, get them right at 212 degrees, and they're the most perfect fluffy potatoes ever for your baked potatoes. So I tried it. It was delicious. Talked about it with Chef Paul. He said it sounds like a good idea. And then we had not just Todd. I've had tons of people. It's like, man, I've struggled with baked potatoes forever. That's a great tip. I'm still trying to get a hold of Brad, by the way.
Oh, that's all right. Well, hopefully we'll get him on the show here in a minute. I'll never forget, now that we've talked about this, I will never forget 212. Because back in my younger days, there used to be a place in Staley called the 212 Pub.
Oh, there you go.
I used to go there. Good. So now I just have to think, okay, 212 Pub. I'll be able to remember that. Let me get a couple more responses to our question of the day. 304-680. Dave, here's my dream bill. Elvis, Toby Keith, and more Elvis. I guess you could have like a young Elvis, old Elvis, and get a little Toby Keith in there as well. Let's see. Oh, this is pretty good. This is if I do say so myself, this is a pretty good question. So the question of the day, one more time in case you missed it. You're putting together your own dream concert, and you've got 3 headliners. Who are they, dead or alive? Who's on the bill? 315-926. Grateful Dead, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix. That's really strong. That's a really strong trio right there. So get those in. We'll get more of these in just a bit. Oh, we found Brad Howe. Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Hello, Dave. Good afternoon. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Good to be with you, though.
It's all good. Hey, I wanted to ask you, you're right on the WVU basketball front lines. You know, the fact that West Virginia has brought so many new players into the fold so early in the NIL period, I mean, is this kind of like an auction where the best players, you want to grab those as quickly as possible, then you're going to try to maybe save some money on the back end? I mean, is there rhyme or reason as to why West Virginia got the players they did so quickly in the period?
Yeah, I think a couple parts to that. First and foremost, those are three highly coveted targets and three right near the very top of the list of West Virginia's wish list. And again, remember, we've been talking about this for a long time. The major difference in the portal this year is that Ross Hodge and his staff had an entire year to be preparing for this. Last year, you had 5 weeks. And, they were preparing to bring guys into North Texas, not to West Virginia. So it was a totally different story. This was, you've been preparing for this moment for an entire year, and guys dedicated on the staff to the recruiting side of things have been watching every player across college basketball for an entire year. So they knew exactly where they wanted to go right from the very jump. And the three guys you've seen them sign early were all guys that were near the top of West Virginia's list, led by Mo Sela, who they just got committed to last week. I mean, Dave, that's a massive get, and I'm sure you've talked about this, former top 20 recruit, a guy that was expected to be one and done at Georgia Tech and head into the NBA draft lottery, 6'10", center that's a tremendous defensive player but also can finish on the offensive end. So he's the key piece of the three that have come in, but the other two are very good. Javon Buchanan, very skilled, can do a bunch of things, can score from all levels. You think that guys were successful backing down defenders this year. Wait till you see Buchanan go to work in the post. And then Finley Bizjack, the shooting guard / backup point guard as well, when you need him to slide over and handle it. He fills a key role for this team, a talented catch-and-shoot jump shooter that can also distribute the ball. So 3 positions of need and 3 guys that were right near the very top of West Virginia's wish list early.
So I was reading a little bit about the cost of NIL for college basketball this season, and there's one estimate that overall players are 65% more expensive this year. And when you are looking for players that are coming from power conferences to schools like WVU, and that's the case for Sela, for Butler, those guys, it's an increase of 73% over last year. So, for example, at 65%, a guy that was going to cost you $1 million last year is going to cost you $1.65 million this year. So now Sadler, Bizjack, Buchanan, and Sela are in the fold. Does West Virginia still have enough money to get another wing, another expensive wing, or have they spent the majority of their money on these 4 guys?
Yeah, so a couple things. First of all, I read that same article too. Evan Miyakawa is the one that put that out. He's dialed in and has a good handle on it. And that's the one thing all these coaches have been saying in the offseason. It is remarkable where the market has gone. So much for the market normalizing at some point. Maybe it will. It wasn't this offseason, that's for sure. Those prices continue to escalate. So that's part one. That part is true, and we can speculate or debate all we want exactly where that percentage is, but I think Evan's point remains the price went up significantly for guys this offseason. That's number one. Number two, again, everything is individualistic here. That's a market look, but not every single one of those guys necessarily that West Virginia got falls into that specific category. So to the second part of your question, does West Virginia still have the funds to continue to add to the roster? Yes, it does. They've been put in a great position to be extremely competitive. NIL, Ren Baker's talked about that for the last couple of years of making moves to get you in a position, football and men's basketball-wise, to be able to be as competitive as anybody in the Big 12, and you're in that area. So now the next wave of players to come in for West Virginia will, again, be ones that they've targeted, one that fits roles, but yes, the money is there to continue to add to this roster.
So the players that West Virginia has paid to come in that are in this next class, if they have more than 1 year of eligibility, should we assume that West Virginia is trying to sign them to multi-year contracts? Or
you shouldn't assume anything in this day and age, Dave.
Okay.
Who knows? Now, football did do some 2-year deals, yes, and there are some schools that are starting to do that. But, just to make a blanket assumption like that, I wouldn't necessarily do that. Now, would you love right now to say Miles Sadler is going to stick around for a couple of years? Absolutely would. And that becomes one of the challenges we just saw with DJ Thomas, a guy that played and was forced into action because of injury sooner than you probably would have liked and showed some flashes. Well, that was great for West Virginia, helped them win a few extra games this season, but it also opens up his market and allows other teams to come in. And much like the housing market, it only takes one person to overbid what you have slotted for that player, and then suddenly you're looking to fill a roster spot. So I think there's some guys, yes, you would love to have more than 1 year, but I think today's day and age, we can't assume anything right now.
So spring football ends tomorrow with the Blue Gold Festival. How much time do you think we'll see under center by Fox and Hawkins at the quarterback position? Will we see a lot of them?
Yeah, that's a good question because I don't know exactly how many plays Rich is going to run. You know, he's talked about this is not a game in the true sense of the word, but he did say they're going to be in some scrimmage situations and they're going to get some work in because they do still have this final practice to go. So I think you're going to see both of them playing. Whether that's significant or not, I don't know. I don't have a good handle on that based on the number of plays that Rich will run. But, yeah, you'll certainly see both of them out of there. I think fans will be excited to see Hawkins in particular. We've seen Scotty Fox. We know what he can do. His knowledge of the offense and grasp of the offense has certainly improved since last year. But I think Hawkins, since he's the new player of the two, I think people will be impressed with his ability to throw it downfield. And if he tucks it and takes off here, I know they probably won't have any live hitting, but if they do, you'll see his escapability on display as well.
45 seconds. Maybe this is an unfair question, but of the players that will be running around in the spring game tomorrow that we're really not that focused on now, who will we be surprised by on Monday? Have you got a name?
Well, that's a good one. I think Hawkins is going to be first and foremost because we have to know what's going on at the quarterback position. Offensive line will be the most important, but we're not going to see a lot or be able to know a lot after an hour and a half of practice. I think the receivers, I'm staying on offense obviously here, the receivers are interesting. That's maybe the biggest unknown. You figure Cam Cook and Latimer are going to be very good at the running back. I think it's the wide receiver position. Francis from LSU, Prince Strawn from USC, and man, Dave, they look the part. You can see why they were at LSU and SC, respectively. DJ Epps has shown you some things. And then Jaden Bray back from injury. So if you look around, that receiver group for a team that's probably not going to throw it a ton has some potential there at the wide receiver position. So let me go with that position group.
All right, sounds good. Let's take a quick break. We'll play in around in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Hotline with Dave Weekly will return on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and
about
onions.
this. Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
All right, welcome back. It is time to play In or Out. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. The setup is simple. 3 categories. Food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. The topics change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
I better be.
Nutella has just launched Nutella Peanut. Its first new flavor in more than 60 years. It's exactly what you think it is. Their regular chocolate hazelnut spread with peanut butter. Nutella Peanut, in or out?
Yeah, I get. My thing is that I don't know. I didn't have Nutella for any of my life. It got super popular a few years ago, and I bought some and had one jar of it and burnt myself out on it so much I can't really eat it anymore. It's pretty odd. But objectively, I think this has to be good. Probably my problems aside, it's probably good. So I'm going to be in.
All right. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this? Nutella Peanut, in or out?
You know, I've always thought of Nutella as an alternative to peanut butter. If you don't want peanut butter, get yourself some Nutella. And now that Nutella is making peanut butter, I don't know. It feels like it feels like it's becoming what it once hated, you know? So I think I'll sell.
Gonna be out.
I'll out. Yeah. I've got my head in the last segment, Dave.
So, all right. Brad, I'm interested in your take on this because you live with a lot of women, right? So
what does that mean?
What does that have to do with Nutella?
So, where do you fall on Nutella Peanut?
Well, one, I was going to say, Coop, I was impressed with your ability to talk that out. You did a nice job of rounding yourself back to being in. Number two, I have no idea why Dave said that's what he did. I didn't know that was a female-only product, but I'll run with it here. I'll make it easy, Dave. It's chocolate, it's peanut butter. If there's anything I'm a mark for, it is that combination. So absolutely in.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be noted in the post notes of today's show. Gut reaction is
I
next.
have to go to HR with that. I don't
know. Gut reaction. Oh, Coop, meet Gertie. You know what Gertie is? Gertie is the world's oldest chicken.
Oh.
And she lives in Portland, Maine. She's 15 years and 100 days old. The owner, Frank, got Gertie as a chick in 2010 and noticed her stunning plumage and photogenic qualities. The world's oldest chicken, Gertie, in or out?
Before I answer this question, would it be the utmost respect when the chicken dies to eat it?
I don't know, man. It's pretty old.
Well, yes, of course. I'm not saying it would be delicious. I'm just saying, would that actually be the respectful thing to do?
It might be sinewy. You know?
Well, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I'm in. What my daughter loves chickens.
All right, Ryan, Gertie, the world's oldest chicken, in or out?
You know, back when I lived with my mom in Virginia, we had chickens, and they're pretty cool. I like
tasty.
chickens. They're nice animals. I'll be in.
All right. By the way, Brad, Gertie is blind and had to be moved to another coop so she would not be attacked by the other chickens. Gertie, the world's oldest chicken, in or out?
Well, I like that Gertie's getting the respect owed to her there at the chicken farm. Very well done. Number two, I love chicken. I don't like having names of then something I'm going to eat. It personalizes it way too much, so I don't like that. However, the fact that you worked in the word plumage into the description, I give that high marks. I am in because of that.
I am also in on Gertie. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. Will Anderson Jr. of the Houston Texans just got a 3-year, $150 million extension, $134 million guaranteed. He's the highest paid non-quarterback at the moment in NFL history. He got more money than Micah Parsons. Will Anderson Jr., in or out?
I'm somewhat fascinated from, I guess, an academic standpoint with the way that these NFL contracts are working and all of the drama behind the scenes at the Players Union and different things like that. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Stack your paper, man. I don't care. Yeah, get rich.
Ryan, Will Anderson Jr. of the Houston Texans, in or out?
Oh, wow. A guy who gets paid a lot of money. Gertie is a better celebrity than this. I'll be out.
Be out. Brad, Will Anderson Jr. of the Texans.
Wow, some of these college athletes sound like a bargain. Talk about going up 65%.
Yeah.
What a market. I don't know that Will Anderson is the highest paid in history, but the time we live in, I've got nothing against him yet.
All right, there you go. Brad's in. I'm also in. Hey, Brad, thanks for coming on the show today. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas. Have a good weekend.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And Aristotle Jones is up next. You're not going to miss that. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're continuing a very warm Friday. Storms will develop, though, late Saturday along a cool front, which is going to keep that shower potential around through the early part of Sunday as temperatures fall to below average levels, and then maybe a little patchy frost early next week. There is our severe threat Saturday afternoon and evening. Slight risk in yellow. That's a level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather scale. Damaging winds really the primary threat. So again, rest of our Friday, sunshine, a few clouds drifting in late and still very warm. Saturday remains pretty warm as well. Some spots approaching 90 degrees, and then late, here comes that front with those showers and thunderstorms moving on in. Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home, still very warm in the southeastern part of the nation. Temperatures into the 90s for Orlando and Tampa. Panhandle to panhandle forecast showing some pretty decent rains to the north with those isolated thunderstorms again rumbling in late Saturday into early Sunday. Again, now the first part of the day Saturday should be just fine and also quite mild. Not quite as much rain off to the east, maybe 1/4 of an inch, perhaps up to 1/2 an inch. Temperatures will be into the mid-50s in Petersburg, 54, and then topping out at 92 with those thunderstorms again developing late. As we head to the south and west, 1/4 to 1/2 inch amounts, isolated heavier tallies with any of these stronger thunderstorms, but it will be a quiet start. Harrisville at 61 degrees and Parkersburg at 85 for that afternoon high. As we head to the south, those precipitation values again approaching about 1/2 an inch with temperatures topping out into the 80s. Charleston around 90 degrees. Then much cooler as we head into the weekend. Lingering showers Sunday, possibly Monday, and the sun does return Tuesday at 77, and then warming back up into the 80s late next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
That was a pretty good in or out today. Was I wrong in assuming
Spirited.
that? Yeah, it was spirited. First of all, we had a conversation about Gertie, the world's oldest chicken.
We did. Go ahead and ask your question. I'm curious.
Yeah. Was I wrong in assuming that women like Nutella more than men?
That's like saying, was I wrong in assuming that oranges don't go in spaceships? I don't understand where did I don't
know where I got that.
Yeah, I'm curious because that's not something that I like. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just not sure like where the vibe comes from.
Yeah.
It just seems like a product to me.
You know, Coop, when you have like a 3-hour show 5 days a week and you're on the air a lot, sometimes you say things that sometimes don't make any sense.
I think that if we were, and we don't have time to do this because we got to get to Aristotle in a minute, but I think if we were to sit here maybe on the couch for a second and have a few moments that we would learn something about how you associate with Nutella.
I know. Maybe that's my problem.
Like Nutella is very effeminate to you, it seems like.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far, but I just assumed that when you took a look at the base of consumers of Nutella that there would be more women than men, and I don't know why I feel that way. I'm not sure. Maybe because it's fancy.
Do you like Nutella?
Yeah, it's fine. You know, I haven't bought it in a long time.
It's kind of like me. It's like I burnt myself out on it, like I said. But even when I ate it all and everything, like it's good. You know, I'm not obsessed with it.
Hey, one quick baseball thing before we get Aristotle out here. Man, the Mets lost again today. They lost again today. The Cubs beat them up at
I'm
Wrigley.
so sad.
12-4.
Makes me so sad.
Lindor got a couple of hits. Simeon got a couple of hits, and both those guys have been scuffling. But the Cubs won 12-4. But I noticed that ESPN commented on this. It was on this date 50 years ago today that Mike Schmidt, former Ohio University walk-on, hit 4 homers in 4 consecutive at-bats. The Phillies at Wrigley overcame an 11-run deficit against the Cubs and beat the Cubs 18-16 in 10 innings. That game still remains the biggest. It's still tied for the largest comeback in National League history.
That's pretty amazing.
That was 50 years ago today. 50 years ago today. All right, let's move on from the Nutella snafu.
Yeah.
Let's just forget that even happened.
Yeah.
Can you cut that out of the I really don't want to go to HR, man. Can you cut that out of the podcast?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say yes, but if you're looking at the camera, I'm shaking my head.
Okay. That's probably going to end up being a podcast, right? All right. Let's get Aristotle Jones out here.
Oh, those West Virginia.
All right, Aristotle Jones. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling good, feeling fresh, and feeling that Friday energy, man.
Attaboy. Hey, you know what? I mentioned there's so many things I like about this segment. It's one of my favorite segments that we do every week on a regular basis, every Friday at 5:33. But I love talking about places where you can go to hear live music in West Virginia. And this place that we're going to talk about first is one of my favorite places in the state. So let's get at it. Let's get after it.
Well, last summer we had a chance to perform at the Ogle Bay Amphitheater in Wheeling, West Virginia, and it was amazing. Folks come out from all over to enjoy Ogle Bay Park Resort. But a lesser-known venue that you can do a little bit more casually is Ogle Bay Park's it's Fire Pit Fridays, and it starts off the night at Route 88 Burgers and Brews. You can enjoy a juicy smash burger, New Jersey-style rippers, and craft beer with breathtaking scenic views and live music, outdoor seating all summer long. And tonight on the stage they have Bob Gaudo. He's fresh, and we're going to have fresh off the grill burgers and just an evening made for relaxing. I bet it's going to be perfect in Wheeling tonight to enjoy Fire Pit Fridays. So get out there if you're in that part of the state, 7 p.m.
I just wonder if there's anybody who's listening to the show that, played a little golf at Ogilvy Park today and that will be taking part at Fire Pit Friday. That sounds like a good Friday to me, man. That sounds like a good
you
day.
Can mix burgers and music and some craft beers.
Yeah,
and some
man.
Vibe. I mean, that's just, and I love that it's April and it's already kicking off. It's a great way to start the music season.
Yeah, don't sleep on this. Ogilvy Park Resort in Wheeling, Fire Pit Friday. That sounds good. Speaking of that, what's our good sound of the week?
So our good sound of the week is coming out of the Morgantown, Fairmont area. It's in Anique Odom. She's a Belgium-American musician who's also a researcher. She's currently the artist-in-resident at Fairmont State University and is an active member of the North Central West Virginia folk music scene. Her new project, Linen of Words, is a great album. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of an interesting listen because she plays a lot of different instruments like the double bass, the clarinet, and she does vocal harmony groups with other musicians in the area to share a new interpretation of traditional music along with her own songs. So I figure we listen to one of her vocal songs. We don't do a lot of a cappella songs on here, but here's an a cappella song by Anique Odom off of her album Linen of the Words. Here is How Can I Stop Singing?
All right, let's check it out.
My life flows on in endless song, a lover's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. What storm can shake my inmost calm? While to that rock I'm clinging, it sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?
That's nice. That's nice. You know what? I really like the name of this album, Linen of Words. That's really nice. I like that.
Hey, Anique's a very talented musician. She's also a storyteller. And her album, Linen of Words, it really kind of showcases all of her talents. It's definitely fun to check out. And if you like traditional music, she takes a non-traditional approach to traditional music. It's real interesting.
You know what? If you're out there listening and you're thinking, that Dave, that's all fine. Aristotle, that's all fine. But when are they going to get to the good stuff, like the Grafton Monster Festival? Well, we're getting there right now. What's up with the Grafton Monster Festival?
Well, Dave, you and I both share a love for cryptids and folklore in West Virginia. So the Grafton Monster, you just got to research exactly what the Grafton Monster is because it's half true, half false. But I tell you what, it's definitely got a festival for it. It's coming up on Saturday, June 13th, and they're calling all of the cryptid-loving creatives to the third annual Grafton Monster Festival because it's right around the corner. You got musical performances by Kevin Ford, the Sun and Moon Band, Jim Hill, Matthew Hatfield, Ashford King, and Grammy Award-winning songwriter Chance McCoy of Old Crow Medicine Show is going to be the headliner.
Nice.
It's a free night of music, and it's right in the heart of downtown Grafton. It's going to have artisan, food vendors, and lots of creepy, weird, cryptid lore. Music starts at 1:30, goes till 9 p.m., so I would go check out this free show in Grafton, Dave, if you happen to be in Taylor County. And you can hear a great performance by Ashford King. And take a listen to his song, Nowhere.
There you go. Let's do it.
The streets here paved with the dreams of old men and places where lovers never have been. And I swear to God, it feels like I'm sinking down. The air, it smells like gasoline, and the fabric we wear is ripped at the seams. And I haven't seen sister for long on 3 months now. Nothing's what we have to give, and nowhere's where we all live, and love's just something that we did once.
All right, Ashford King, Nowhere. One of the acts on the Grafton Monster Festival in Grafton. That'll be on Saturday, June the 13th. That sounds like a good time. Get right out there on Route 50, man, and go directly to Grafton. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go right to Grafton on Route 50. Hey, so what do you got?
I love that you know all the routes and the country roads, man. You know exactly where I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. Hey, so what do you got going on your Saturday morning show tomorrow? What's happening with that?
On Saturday, I'm talking to Tom Batchelor. We're talking about what it means to put together a band and get them ready to perform in the summer season. So you want to hear a little bit of reggae music, a little bit of stories, a little bit of ska music. It's going to be a great episode. Me and Tom Batchelor just shooting the breeze like West Virginia musicians like to do.
That sounds good. Aristotle Jones, you're the man. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll do this again next Friday at 5:33.
All right, don't step in no more Nutella, Dave.
I think I might have stepped in it in more ways than one. Aristotle Jones. Sounds good, West Virginia. Coop, you were mentioning off the air, you think it's going to be 50 degrees in Charleston on Friday?
That's what, I'm no meteorologist, but that's what my phone app said.
So that's about 35 degrees under what it is right now.
Seems not good.
I'm looking at a live shot from Denver right now where the Dodgers and the Rockies are playing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It is blowing snow sideways.
No way, is it really?
It's blowing snow, man. It is piling up out there. But I don't know, man.
About Tuesday is going to be back up to the mid-70s, so it's just a one-day blip.
You know, one time I went to a Pirates-Cubs doubleheader at Three River Stadium. First game, fine. Second game, snowed out. Played the first game, snowed out. Second game.
Man, snowed out doubleheader.
Partially snowed out
doubleheader. Yeah.
I remember Chuck Tanner came out to home plate and just turned around to the crowd and just shrugged his shoulders and was like, "Go home, everybody."
I remember one night at Wappel Park, they were rushing to finish a game under a snowstorm. That was an interesting game. Suddenly everything was a strike. It was.
But how many nights in baseball history in a doubleheader would you play one game?
Yeah, that's weird.
And
right?
the nightcap would be snowed out.
Not very often, I would imagine.
All right, let's take a break. We have got so many people who have responded to our question of the day, talking about your dream music festival, and if you could pick any three headliners, dead or alive, who would be on that bill? Let's get into that when we come back.
Boating season is almost here, and there's no better place to start your family's adventure than Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Family owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer and true experts in boats, motors, and repairs. Explore their impressive inventory and score some of the best deals of the season right now. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com and get on the water in style. After all, the weekend's almost here.
Hi, I'm Chris Waddell, Principal and Office Lead for Martinsburg for CEC. After serving in the military, I found my home in Martinsburg. Traveling across the states, I've always wanted to serve my community. At CEC, I get to do just that. Our core values, clients first and we own it, resonate with my mission-driven background. We solve problems by listening and collaborating, and as an employee-owned firm, we take pride in every project that we do. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Hotline with Dave Weekly will return on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there. I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now. No, me too.
That's a great point.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Oh, man, we have got so many great responses to our question of the day today. So the outdoor concert season is about to heat up. Coachella, the second weekend, is underway in California. If you organized your own personal dream music festival and could pick any three headliners, dead or alive, who's on the bill? We're going to get into these responses. Coop, I'm going to give you mine, though, before we run out of time. I think the Beatles have to be one, okay? I think they have to be one, just... There wasn't enough time to really see the Beatles perform, so I think they got to be one.
If you take the rooftop era Beatles and put them in a festival, that's the show that you want to see.
That's what I want. Yep. Nobody has talked much about jazz, so I'm going to throw Miles Davis in there, and I want to go with a first quartet that's got Coltrane in it. So get that. And the third, I'm thinking, I don't know, man. Let me go in another direction. How about something like Frank Sinatra?
Nice.
Some classic Sinatra.
I was thinking about some jazz standards. Yeah, that would be good.
So that would be mine. Beatles, Miles Davis, and Sinatra.
What order?
Probably open with maybe Frank, and then little Miles, and then Beatles close it out.
Nice.
What do you think?
Nice.
Let's get into some of these other responses. 304-993. Dave, Beatles, Zappa, and Yes. I want to party with this dude.
Yeah, I know, man. Zappa is such a man. I mean, I like Zappa. Don't get me wrong, but I got to be in a highly specific mood to get into Zappa.
How about this? 681-900. Dave, to answer your question of the day, how about Stevie Ray Vaughan, Waylon, and Kiss back when they were doing big stadium tours, all front row tickets? That would be fantastic.
That would be good. Yeah,
that would be fantastic. A couple more. 304-669. Bob Marley, Nirvana, and Sublime.
That'd be an interesting show.
That would be a really
yeah.
All these shows.
Yeah,
would be,
of course.
You know,
that's nice though.
That
like
is really good. That's really good. Here's Joel, who's listening down in Wilmington, North Carolina, right there on the water. You're doing pretty well. Ween, Whitney Houston, and MF Doom. What a combo!
Wow, okay.
What a combo! That's great. Let's see. 304-698. Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's getting a lot of love.
I know, right?
Bob Seger and CCR. You know, Dave Allen and I were talking about this off the air. He went right, no, maybe on the air. He went right to Bob Seger, which really stunned me.
I can't recap. You and I had a pretty long conversation about Bob Seger, I think maybe last Friday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Here we go. 681-552. Dave, here's my lineup. Metallica, Kiss, and Black Sabbath. I don't know, man. Maybe I should take Sinatra and put Sabbath in. That's a really good call. That's a really good call. Oh, this I love this category. 304-282. Dave, I got ZZ Top, The Beatles, and Three Dog Night.
Nice.
Three Dog Night.
Nice.
Three Dog Night. Let's see.
Not many country acts at all.
No, not a lot of
You know somebody you could throw in there for a festival? Garth.
Willie.
Yeah, Garth too, though.
Yeah.
Garth would do a big crowd good.
304-282. Dave, I got REO Speedwagon, Billy Joel, and Foreigner. You know what?
That could happen today.
I was going to say, they're probably out there right now. A couple more here. 304-541, Grateful Dead, Bowie, and Yes. I don't know. Maybe I need this guy's lineup.
That's not bad either.
Yeah,
I love that Bowie that Bowie one.
Yeah,
I wanted to point out the top one. I don't know if you saw that. I just want to point it out because I can't believe the amount of buzz this is getting in Charleston. But from the 304-612, most recent one we had sent out, it says Billy Strings, Doc Watson, and Fish.
Oh,
Billy
man.
Strings is getting so much buzz here, man.
I know.
Tons. There's like 5 after parties. There's people coming in from all over the place. He is getting so much buzz.
Yeah, there's going to be people who are going to be flowing to the arena that don't have tickets.
Yeah, for sure.
That's going to be the kind of scene that's going to be. Let's see. Hey, Dave, 304-476. I didn't go to places like that, and I was too young anyways, but I do remember the 212 pub. I guess it's been gone for a long time. Yeah, it was right there in the main drag in Staley. Let's see. 304-906. Dave, this was hard. Almost caused a fight between Joel and I. Bill Withers, Florence and the Machine, and Alt J. Bill Withers, that's a good call, too. That's a really good call. 304-376. Dave, I got Iced Tea, Ice Cube, and Vanilla Ice. Hold the concert in Ireland. Call it Ice Jam.
Nice.
That's so good. That's so good. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we're back to wrap it for the week in a moment.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. As long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You're not just quitting for yourself. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing.
To get the help you need.
To find peace. And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the show today. Man, did we have a lot of fun with our question of the day. Thanks so much for sending so many fantastic answers in. We'll take a break for news at the top of the hour, and then Sportsline is hopping right in there. My name's Dave Weekley. I will talk to you on Monday beginning at 3:06 right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The Weekend.